guess to start though. I mean, you 4 free throws to end there. To get to 40, I don't. That's just is that one of the. First of all, have you shot 4 technicals in a row before?
No, that was the first time.
Okay. But I mean, I guess overall, I mean, last night, tonight. I know you've had a couple games where you've had 30 plus, but it feels like the shot, everything looks a little different. Yeah. Has it felt that way? And did it feel that way tonight?
Yeah, the last 2 games definitely felt different. I think I had some good games before, but it was just I'm a shot maker, so the ball was going in. But this is good as it's felt, just in rhythm, the timing of how it's happening. I say this is the best it's felt.
Just how the timeline you kind of expected, like for it to start clicking around here, because you kind of mentioned obviously you got the late start.
Yeah. I think even last season, it was coming off of a long layoff from surgery the year before. Getting back out there was different, and I felt similar to that coming into this season just because of the summer and, how my training was. And I feel like last year, I don't remember, I just remember it was against Cleveland. And it was like around this time, like late December, I feel like. And it was just one of those nights where I just started to feel better. Last night I felt really good, and in my head I was like, at some point in December I'll start to feel better, even though I knew it was a process, being on a new team and everything. And we still in that process, but I'm definitely starting to feel better.
We talk obviously a lot about you and Giannis and the pairing that you guys have, but I want to ask you about you and Chris. What's your chemistry on-court relationship like been with him, and how do you feel like y'all have been able to affect each other's game?
Well, a lot of times me and him are going to be the decision makers. The guys with the ball in our hands, even if that doesn't mean we're getting a shot or making a shot. He's an extremely smart player. He's an X and O's guy, so he sees the game well. And me, as a point guard of 12 years, I see the game really well. I see things happening. I'm always listening to our coach. I'm listening to their coach. I'm listening to their players interact with each other. So he's like that, So on the court, a lot of times we end up communicating with each other because we see a lot of the same things out there. And I think it helps our connection on the floor as well. It helps us be on the same page more times than not.
What do you think about Giannis getting the franchise rebounding record? When you get Kareem, I guess that's a good record.
Yeah, anytime Kareem is the person you pass, and that's a crazy stat. But we came in here, it was like, man, y'all might as well just hold the balls to the end of the year because he's going to have every record possible by the end of the season. But it just shows the kind of work that he puts into the game. You don't get rewarded the way he's been rewarded, and you don't reach these types of milestones without, being true to the game and putting into it what he's put into it. So, like I've been saying, it's an honor to be on the team with him. And, everything that he's reaching right now, I've seen it from afar, and it makes perfect sense why he's, the leading points and rebounds, assists, blocks, and whatever else. I'm sure he'll be number one in everything. Whatever statistic you can have in history of this team, I'm sure he'll reach that at some point as well. And this was just another one.
Adrian said that
he joined you in the starting lineup tonight. Coach mentioned it was the most minutes he received. Just what impressed you the most about what he gave you guys tonight?
He just keeps going. He's a pest out there on the ball, making guys work. He's getting us extra possessions on the offensive end. He's flying in there on the defensive rebound. Just his activity and his energy. A lot of times young guys, they want to show what they can do, ability-wise. And what he brings to the game is something that you can always put on the floor. And it's not, always something that you'll see on the box score or on the stat sheet, but you can feel his presence in the game.
Adrian said that you like to get screens in a certain position, and the other guys are learning where you want to get the screens because you're double teamed a lot. I would expect that to be on the perimeter, but is it somewhere else, or does it depend on the play or what you're doing and what you're trying to score?
I think the way I like to play is just to put the defense in a position where, they like, man, this ain't the position I want to be in. So a lot of times I'm saying screen at an angle where they have to chase me. When you give a defender opportunity to go under and recover, or they can chase you and they can help the big, it limits your options. So for me, I'm telling them a specific angle to set it where I know I'll be able to play and get to what I want to get to.
Did that take a lot of talk during practice, or does that literally just take time together and like the nonverbal communication?
No, I think it's something that you just got to continue to communicate because I'm new, and there hasn't been somebody like me here before, so it's an adjustment, and I've been on the floor a lot of minutes, and I see things that, like I said, they haven't had to be around and they haven't had to coexist with. So it's just a matter of communicating and helping guys understand it.
If anything specifically, what would you pinpoint for what's getting you in rhythm and what's getting your team in rhythm during this stretch right now?
I would just say the dialogue, around the team. In our practices, it's just been a lot of walking through things and just trying to make things work for everybody. And that's really it, just having those conversations and not kind of having the elephant in the room and just acting like it's not there. Everybody's been open and honest, and being able to have those conversations as men is very helpful.